I think that the interesting thing, and this is sort of fascinating to think about, there's a growing realization that deal with Netflix and TF1, for instance, big deal. Very like we wrote about it. It's like, look at this. This is like the little French people and the little Netflix people got together, and this is great. But it turns out them doing that and having streaming and getting into fast, the scale isn't enough to make fast really financially lucrative. So there's like 150 to 180 channels of fast in Europe. And there's like 2,000 to 4,000 depending on the day in the United States. But their scale is so much bigger, right? So you can actually make ad supported only make sense. So that affects part of streaming. The language thing affects things, but like Bevin said, Cam AI going to fix a lot of stuff, right? So I think and we certainly see this. I think the conversation about this week's pitch, apparent pitch by David Ellison and Paramount Skydance to buy all of Warner Brothers Discovery, not just the streaming and studios part, but all of it. All those studios was. I think he thinks he can do something with cable now that we've got like the charter way, for instance.
He wants to keep those cable.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting that all of a sudden you're right about that Sharks and Jets thing. And everybody was knifing each other, and there was originals only for streaming, and then there was the stuff that was running on broadcast, and there the twain shall meet. And everybody finally went, hey, just another way to get stuff to people and make money from them. And I think they finally got it a little bit. I mean, what do you think, Bev?